The insecurity challenge that is really taking its toll in certain parts of the state. Let's quickly meet our panelists now. Tony Era is a veteran journalist and environmentalist, public affairs commentator. He's joining us from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Comrade Tony, thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning, Dr. Kotu. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, thank you for joining us. And of course, Godswill Enegbe is the special advisor to the state governor, Senator Modu Okpebolo, on media and communication. He's joining us from Irua, the administrative headquarters of Eastern Central Local Government. Godswill, thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. All right, Tony, I want us to quickly set the template for this conversation. I mean, back to back, the news broke with the death of about 7 members of a civil defense who were supposed to be providing security cover. And along that side, the story came about one of the new buses of new Edo line that was, the occupants of the bus were allegedly kidnapped and taken into the bush at Sobe Road. I mean, these incidents have sent shock waves across the country up to the point that even the police hierarchy have acknowledged it, even though something is being done. What do you make of these challenge as a big concern to many Nigerians, many Edo people, even those in the diaspora? Tony?
Well, I think it is an unfortunate thing that our state, especially Nigeria, have turned into an orgy of kidnapping, stealing, and maiming. I would say it did not start today. It has always been there. And it is just a problem that the people have left unsolved over time, that have come and spread across all areas of our life. I can remember early enough, we have been crying. Our cry had been that our state, Edo, was not protected. And we all know that when it comes to the issue of insecurity, it is about everybody coming together to weather the storm. And like I said, the problem we have left, everybody, whether government or the people or all the other stakeholders, the problem we have left in the past is what that have magnified into what we have now. I remember years back when all our land, our forest land, we were being treated to multinational companies. We did cry out that asset, especially the asset that borders Akure Road, was being unduly militarized by certain multinational companies who in 2016 brought in about 1,000 non-Nigerians into that area as cheap laborers, and also to give them security cover from those communities they grabbed the land from, that they thought that they used to be against them. But nobody cared about it. And the immigration department in the federal was written to a petition. And that petition was being looked into in Edo. So people abandoned it. But today, we now have the repercussions. So
okay.
It is what you give to security, that security will give to you.
Okay.
So
now, Comrade Tony, let me just pause you for a moment. I will appreciate if you can centralize your camera a little bit so we can you can be more visible on camera. But I'll come back to you in just a moment while we sort that out. Let me bring Godswill Inegbe on board. Godswill, talk to me about what is government doing right now to checkmate this challenge, because while we talk about what happened with the 8 NSCDC officials that were killed, we also talked about the kidnappings in Sober Road, on Sober Road, where we also saw a report where it was alleged that, you know, some of those released had to pay close to 60 million naira. I don't know how true that is. And then there's also some talks about some of the incidents happening in some parts of Edo State, the Yanomo axis and all of that. So what is government, is government aware of these incidents? And secondly, what is government doing to checkmate it?
Once again, thank you so much for having me. I just hope that because of network issues and calls that are coming to my phone, we'll be able to have a seamless conversation in this interview. First and foremost, once again, the governor wished to express sadness over the unfortunate incidents that led to the demise of the members of the civil defense. And the governor is deeply not happy about such incident, especially when individuals who have volunteered to be part of the security architecture of our nation put their life on the line to protect the lives and properties of fellow Nigerians. And at the end of the day, their life will be taken in such a barbaric manner. The governor deeply expresses sadness once again. Regarding what the government is doing, and I want to put it on records once again that before this government came on board, these challenges relating to security, the government inherited it. And ever since we took up the mandate of serving the good people of Edo State, the governor has invested so much in the area of security in the states. Don't forget that this is the only governor that has courageously challenged the issue of court-related crisis that have been a long-time challenge of security menace in the states. It's on record, so that it's on record that no successive government could be able to challenge or do anything about court-related crisis in these states. I've got a situation whereby when you wake up in the morning, when you are going about your daily activities, you see dead body literally littered around our street today. There was a time in the city, the capital of Edo State, that nightlife was totally dead. People were so scared to come out because of this court crisis. But today, nightlife has returned back to the city because of the manner this governor has honestly tackled that crisis. Regarding this kidnapping challenges, the governor has put on a security squad tagged Operation Flush Out Kidnappings and court-related crisis for the states. And this squad, they've been doing so much in ensuring that the issue relating to kidnappings and issue relating to court-related crisis, they are nipped to the bud. And of course, we understand that insecurity is not just a thing that an individual can completely solve. It's something that everyone needs to collaborate to ensure that we achieve the desired goal. But for the governor, Senator Modu Kwewolo, he has shown leadership, he has shown commitment, he has shown dedication towards ensuring that the issue of insecurity is tackled in our beloved states. And that's why, as I said before, if I don't understand, we permit me to list the investment that this government have made when he came aboard. This governor came aboard, and what he meant on ground is that the security agencies in the state, they didn't even have what we call utility vehicles. What we met on ground was having Sienna, Nigeria used, very used Sienna vehicles that were given to security agencies in the state. But when Senator Modupe came aboard, what he did first was to procure brand new EDOs and ensure they were all distributed to all security agencies. And not that, he looked into the remuneration of the security officers. Because when someone is putting his or her life on the line to protect and defend the life of others, there must be a sign of motivation for such person to do such job.
Okay.
And the government look into their welfare and ensure that they are motivated by giving them what they need. He did this stuff. He ensured he provided the necessary security gadgets, equipment for them to do their job effectively and efficiently. In that, the government did.
Okay.
And of course, the government did this stuff quickly.
Yeah.
Like I said, just a few days ago, it was also, of course, your correspondent was in government house, where the governor again handed over hundreds of motorbikes to the commissioner of police and the brigade commander to ensure that, because there are some terrain that vehicles cannot access in the states.
Yeah.
And he provided those motorbikes to ensure that those who are giving the responsibility to do their job, they can do that effectively. And quickly, please, before I round up, the issue of the unfortunate kidnappings have to do with the state-owned transportation firm. And I want to quickly correct that question. There was nothing like the government or anybody paid the sum of 60 million naira as a ransom. I wanted to put it on record. Such thing never happened. In fact, when that unfortunate incident happened, the governor intervened immediately and gave a directive that those people that were kidnapped must be rescued. And due to the prompt intervention of the security agencies that were all involved, there was collaboration between all the security agencies. Due to their prompt intervention, 16 of those travelers that were kidnapped were rescued without not paying any dime as a means of ransom.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Godswill. I'll come back to you in a moment before we quickly before we call it a wrap. Let me get back to Comrade Tony Era from Abuja. Tony, thank you again for being a part of this conversation. Share with me your thoughts. It looks like we are making more investments in security, and then there seems to be an upsurge in security challenges with kidnapping specifically. What do you make of this? Is there any how do you correlate this? I don't know how you want to put it, Comrade Tony Era.
Well, I people usually say it's 50 times this night. Like I had said before, if before now we have been more concerned about securing our state and the property, the lives and property of people, we won't have it the way we're having it now. Like you rightly said, it's as if the humongous part of what the fund that is supposed to take care of our life and all other activities have been plowed into security alone, which is not good enough. Good that my good friend Godswill Negbe had said that this is what those state government is doing to turn the tide. But I think that what the people still have to do with the aid of the government is for everybody to come together. Because I think
a bit of a glitch there, which is so that Comrade Tony can reconnect with us in a moment to conclude that conversation. But let me come to you now. Godswill Negbe, what are your parting shots in terms of checkmating this menace by the government of the day, because there are concerns that there are concerns about the fact that some of these things are happening. Even the governor is not in town, and then secondly, the investments are rising, insecurity is rising. But we'll take a break. We'll be back with you on that in just a moment. Stay with us.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thanks again for joining us on the program TMI on the ITV network as we continue our conversation on the rising insecurity in some parts of the state and actions being taken to checkmate it. We've got the Special Advisor, Media and Communication to the State Governor, Godswill Inegbe, joining us, as well as Comrade Tony Era, who is a veteran journalist and environmentalist, also joining this conversation. Godswill, let's bring you on board. I raised some fundamental issues a while ago that while all of these were happening, the governor was not in town. And secondly, from your analysis, there's so much investment in the in tackling insecurity in the state, from the vehicles that were purchased, motorcycles purchased, and all of those things that. But then, of course, we have the re-engineered Edo State security architecture, just to ensure that we give a bite and vigor and fervor to what has been done in checkmating this challenge. But why is it that it's as though while all of these things are being done, we're not seeing much of the impact against the background of what has happened in certain parts of the state in recent times?
So thank you so much for having me once again. You know, the challenge in this part of the world is when a leader, as in this case today, the governor of Edo State, wants such individuals make effort in solving problems. Most times, people don't talk or speak about those successes achieved. But when there's a little issue that comes off negatively, you see, of course, it's being promoted more than the successes being recorded. And as I said before, it's typical in this part of the world. But I want to state with every sense of responsibility that the efforts of this governor in just 9 months spent in office, the manner that these issues that is being discussed about is also discussed in that manner. We find out that the governor done a lot, just as I started before, and has also achieved a lot of tackling insecurity in the states. You just also referenced the rejig, or rather reformed those state security corps, which was part of measures that this governor put in place immediately when he came to the office. And today, across the length and breadth of the state, you can see the efforts that those state security corps, they are bringing on board solving this problem. This governor is someone who is very sensitive when it comes to the plight of the people. And he has said it over and over again that he's here to serve the interests of Edo people and to do that singular job which the Edo people have given to him to serve them as his governor. The area, or rather the point that you raised that the governor is not in town, which might also lead to the uprise of these security challenges, I beg to differ. That the governor
Of course, we will have Godswill Inegbe rejoin us as soon as network stabilizes. That seems to be a challenge for us, but let's have you continue, Godswill. I see you're back now. Okay, let's get Comrade Tony Era on board while we expect.
We have seen the deputy governor. Sorry, please, my apology. As I said before,
yes. No, go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. Yes.
My apology.
Go ahead.
As I was saying, as I was trying to establish that the fact that the governor travel for official assignment does not mean that the will of governance is on suspension. The will of governance through the deputy governor is running effectively, efficiently in the states. Because you have seen how the deputy governor continue to represent the governor in discharging the responsibility that has to do towards the governance of the states. So I don't really want to pay attention to what some of the remnants of the opposition party members are pushing the states. Oh, the governor is not around, that's why these things are happening. No, we have the deputy governor who has been doing very well, excellently. It is the governor travel for official assignment, or rather for official engagements. Deputy governor has stepped into the shoe and is doing very well, which of course is expected. That's why the governor picked him as his deputy, because he knows that he has the capacity to represent him anytime he's not around, to ensure that Edo people, they are being given the right governance that they deserve. So the issue here is the governor doing what he's supposed to do when he has to relating to these insecurity challenges in the state. Of course, he's doing that. He's doing that, and he's doing it to the best ways that anyone can see, as I said before. This is a governor that once anything that has to do with Edo people happens, they immediately will swing to action to ensure the right thing is done. And for us, we know that
yes, let me pause you there. I'll come back to you in just a moment. Let me bring my colleague Ikaro Atta from Abuja Network Studio to also join in this conversation. Ikaro, good to have you on the show. I'm sure you have some posers for panelists on the insecurity challenges in some part of the state.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Sonny. Thank you, very lovely guest. I think what we should be looking at here, like what Comrade Inegbe is discussing there, is the fundamental fact of continuity. Yeah, they talked about Governor Kwewolo not being around. We know for sure that governors can travel, and they can as well be out on official and state and national and even personal matters, even to Abuja, to Benin, to Kogi, to anywhere. But the question many are asking is the issue of sustainability going forward here and the connection between the security network of Edo State and the Nigerian police and other structures of the security apparatus. Look at the kidnappings that take place here. The one stretching from the Sabongida through the Akure axis there connecting Benin, the Ondo State road stretch connecting Benin. Those roads are extremely lonely. There was a day I was to drive through that road and they told me, hey, that road is too lonely. Just go back and take the one from Sabongida, Uhomora, Ozala, Eruekmen. After Eruekmen, you connect to Eho, and Eho, you stretch to Benin. The question we ask, which I think our Comrade Inegbe will likely need to provide, is the game of continuity. Yes, I discussed with our Comrade Fred Itua on Saturday, when he was in Abuja to represent the governor in the burial of Tribune Bureau Chief, late Dr. Leon Isigbe, we discussed. The issue is continuity. How are we sure that Governor Monday Okpawolo's administration, where the governor and his deputy are working, how are we sure that we continue what we saw at the weekend, combing the forest? Because what we have seen, Sonny Duke and our comrade, is that after all of this show and the forest are already calm, and these boys are running now, they will come and look for money for Christmas. When they come out there, will these men combing the forest still be there? Will the police create enough of either checkpoints or enough of pin down position within that stretch to actually ensure that these criminal elements are fished out? Or is it just a one-off thing? We are running today, everyone is in the bush combing the forest, and everyone is clapping. So much press statement being issued by my good friend Freddy Tua, and after all of that, before Christmas again, we'll hear. I'm leaving that to Comrade Inegbe. What are they doing to ensure continuity of this ongoing effort to actually keep the state safe from the Okmila axis, stretching across Okada, stretching towards the Egbanke axis, stretching towards Akoko Edo Igara, stretching towards the entirety of Edo State.
Thank you so much. I don't know, Dr. Duke, may I come in, sir?
Yes, yes, because you specifically mentioned you, so respond to the issues, the gamut of issues that he raised here.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again. Yeah, he's raised a very intelligent issues, and I want to thank him for those ideas that he just shared. But I want to state emphatically that what we've seen now, the successes which he, of course, has just referenced in terms of tackling the security menace in the state, is going to be consolidated on point, especially now that we move into the Ember mode, as is literally referenced in this part of the world. It's going to be sustainability. It's going to ensure that we're going to consolidate upon these gains that are achieved. Of course, just like he said, all the forests and the bushes in the state, they are being combed right now, to speak right now. All the security agencies, they are all working together. And of course, the special anti-kidnapping and anti-cultist squad that was put in place, they are, working seriously to ensure that this festive period, wherein people will be traveling across the state, ensure that the lives and property of Edo people and non-Edo people, they are all safe. As I said before, the interest of the governor, Senator Modu Bewolo, is to make life easy for Edo people, is to ensure that things get better from the way he met it when he assumed office as the governor of Edo State. And that singular, honest act of the governor has resolved to ensure that it becomes a reality in the life of every person that lives in Edo State. The governor and the deputy governor, I want to re-establish once again, we are working together as brothers. That's the reason why you see that, despite the fact that the governor traveled for official engagement, the deputy governor stepped into the issue and has been doing wonderfully well to ensure that the governance in the states is working perfectly. And that's the reason why when this thing happened, even when the governor is not around, you can see the prompt response from the government, and you can see the various directions and various official assignments which the deputy governor has continued to carry out across the state and beyond the states. So I want to once again seize this occasion to appeal to the good people of Edo State that voted Senator Modu Bewolo that they should continue to support him. This security is the responsibility of everyone. The governor will continue to lead and continue to ensure that he provides the necessary leadership in ensuring that Edo is safer. And of course, the governor also needs the support of everybody to make Edo safer. Because at the end of the day, the state belongs to everybody, not just for the governor, not the deputy governor, but belongs to everyone that lives in the state, both the EDGs and not EDGs. It's not the time to play politics.
Okay.
Because this government, if you look at him, the manner he governs the state, please don't allow politics to decide how he carry out his responsibilities and duties.
Okay.
He has continued to maintain that he's here to serve the interest of the Edo people.
All right, Godswill, we'll have you back on board as soon as network stabilize. But let me bring Comrade Tony Era on board. Tony has been waiting patiently. Tony, talk to us about perspective of the community people also being involved in helping security agencies. I mean, there's a story that we've been following where the Comrade Godswill, I'll come back to you in a moment, but let me bring Tony Era on board. The Army is appreciating a community in Delta State for the role they play in helping them to rescue a kidnapped officers. Let me get your take on that as it relates to community involvement in supporting security agencies for us to have a safer, more secure environment. Comrade Edwa.
Is the question to me?
Yes, it's for you. Because I know you talked about talked about some of the challenges that were inherent in the community some time ago, where lands were taken, multinational oil companies were given those lands, and some, unskilled laborers were brought in and all of that. So that's why I'm asking you this question.
Well, thank you very much. Let me for once thank the Governor Pevolo's government for coming to the rescue of Edo State. When you have yourself in a situation where we are, you see that no matter how much you put into security, there are still some areas of flashes where things happen. And as secure as America is, there are situations also where people infiltrate, criminals infiltrate the security architecture to cause some damages. But the issue that it has to be arrested. When a committee was formed under General Cecil Sekaibe, and I being conscious of security and some of the things that the local communities have to do, in fact, visited them. I will visit the committee with one Mr. Macaulay, who is a security expert, who fought gallantly against the Boko Haram insurgency in Yola, Adamawa State. Then, he's the chairman of the Hunters Association of Nigeria. We did have 2 meetings with that committee. And the meeting we had was how we can be able to draft in those who actually know the terrain, those community people, hunters especially, who knows the terrain and what to do. But I don't know how far that committee was able to bring in some of these elements that can help them solve the problem. No matter what it is, the people who understand their terrain more than anybody. For instance, something happened around Ohomora. What actually happened was that some kidnappers just came into the road, picked some people and went into the bush. They fled into the bush. But the army and the police that were there were helpless because they didn't know the terrain as much as those hunters around that area that know the terrain. When we met with the committee, our take was that the Hunters Association and all their members should be treated differently. Let them have a separate way of fighting this insecurity when they have their own inside. But I didn't know how far that has been done. So I still think that the best thing for us to do, for the state to do, to use the EDD upfront, who know the terrain of their respective areas. It is there that will give the security operatives the way through the forest. For instance, I grew up in the forest community, and I know areas where the criminals usually come. And if you say you fight them, you chase them away, once you go away, they come back. So that is why I am Mr. Atari of what he has said, that the coming of the forest to be constant, right? It's a thing that everybody has to do, but security is everybody's business. Thank you.
Comrade Tony Era. Ekaro, if you stay there, maybe your last poser to a panelist on the show before we call it a wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, as Dr. Sonny took here. I think what the next point of analysis will be, I don't know whether Akamajinigbe can touch on that, or our veteran journalists say, but I think if I had the chance, I would like to talk to the Edo State Police Commissioner, the Edo State Director of DSS, the Edo State Commander of the NSCDC, as well as the head of the Edo State Security and Network put together by Governor Okpebholo and subsequently others. Because when you look at Edo State, I am a roadman. I love driving a lot. I don't like going by air, but somehow we are forced to do that once in a while. But I love driving a lot. And when you drive around Edo State and you drive consciously, you will observe very dangerous lonely point. For instance, from Ekpoma, you are going through Okpochi and you are coming out at Igwebe. That's a lonely stretch. When you take another road here, you are coming from before Eho, you diverted through that lonely part. The other one will go to Boneki. The other one will go straight to Ewosa or Ewoimi. Those are lonely parts. You talk about the one where the kidnapping took place, the Sabo Sobe Bini Road, are extremely lonely parts. Sometimes the Omora Ozala can also be very lonely. We have several other lonely parts I've driven around Edo State. What I think the security should do, that's why I don't want to put it to Comrade here, but to the police commissioner and the director of DSS, those who are on checkpoint or on pin down should not stay there too lonely, because these criminals see you. Let there be patrol, highway patrol. When you stay at a location 3 kilometers away, they can kidnap and they are done before you come and you do all your gra-gra, they're gone. So please, I think if I have that, I will ask the police commissioner and others, when your men are on patrol, the DPOs, area commander, let them put 2 or 3 men heavily armed. The other one should be patrolling the highway so that these guys cannot block a location, kidnap within 5 minutes, and they are gone. And the next thing, we found the governor defending everyone in the bush, our innocent comrade there from Irua, who ought to be enjoying the red yam and palm oil, defending the government, the government on air.
Okay, Ikara, I need to pause you. I need to pause you here. Thank you very much. Godswill Inegbe, what are your parting words as we call this conversation, or bring this conversation to a close? Godswill.
Well, thank you so much, and I want to thank so much my dear brother for his contribution. These contributions are both, they are valid, and I like the other is completely part that has to do with the commissioner of police, the big commander of other head of security agencies in our dear states. As I said before, security is the responsibility of everyone.
Okay.
And ideas, contributions, suggestions that we help to make Edo State safer, this government will always pay attention to it. Because we have a governor who listens, as a governor who wants to hear from the people, and based on the suggestions, advice of the people.
I wouldn't know where the problem is coming from, but we can barely hear you, Godswill. I'm sure that's also the result of a network glitch. But all the same, I want to say big thanks to you, Comrade Godswill Inegbe, Special Advisor to the State Governor on Media and Communication. And of course, we also want to say big thanks to Comrade Tony Era, veteran journalist and environmentalist. Gentlemen, thank you for being a part of the show. And to my colleague in Abuja, Iharo, thank you so much for the useful insights you brought to bear.